Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Pregame.
It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the Philadelphia Phillies. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Monday night to you, wherever you may be. The league-leading Phillies, 8.5 in front of Atlanta, dominating the East, have arrived. And talking about dominating on the mound is Roy Halladay. Halladay with a record of 14-4 in his 23 starts. The Phillies are 19-4. For the Dodgers, they'll counter with Hiroki Kuroda. Doesn't look very good on paper. Hiroki is 7-13, but he has pitched remarkably well against Philadelphia. A 2-1 lifetime, but would you believe his earned run average against Philadelphia is less than 1, 0.84. Philadelphia beat the Dodgers 2 out of 3 in the city of brotherly love. The Dodgers will try to return the favor. We'll have that and all of it coming up after this. Hyundai. People are talking about Hyundai Uncensored. See what they're saying at mysocalhyundai.com. By 76 Gasoline, we're on the driver's side. By CarMax, now more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. And by AT&T.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Some good baseball in store for you. The league's best Philadelphia Phillies in town to take on the Dodgers. Start at 3 with Steve Lyons. I'm Patrick O'Neill, and any professional athlete, anybody with any competitive desire wants to win this game and wants to play against the best. And as we look at our Hyundai keys to the game, you look at the pitching staff for the Phillies, at least they don't have to face Hamels.
Yeah, they miss Hamels. There you see the matchups for this entire series. And you know what? I'm not big when people say, oh, this is a statement game or it's a statement series. You know what? You play baseball, you have a chance to make a statement 162 games. And for me, this is a judge to see what kind of Dodger team you have right now, playing against arguably the best team in baseball right now in the Philadelphia Phillies. Go out there and see how you match up right now. Take some pride on that field. Understand that you're 10 games back in your division. It's a long shot to get back into it. But if you beat up on these guys, who else can't you beat up on? If you come out of this series looking good, you should have a lot of mojo moving on.
Sounds like a measuring stick game to me. When we come back, we'll see that guy, Halladay, and Vin has the call for you on Prime Ticket. We'll see you afterwards.
You by Chase, with over 16,000 ATMs nationwide and more on the way. Take a step forward and chase what matters. By Chrysler. Visit us at Chrysler.com or see your local dealer today. And by Time Warner Cable. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Monday evening to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dodger Stadium. A big battle ensuing here, I would think, with Philadelphia arriving with that great record of 74-40, 8.5 games in front of Atlanta. The Dodgers trying somehow to pull off a miracle, and they're going to have to climb a couple of mountains in this series if they're going to do anything at all. Charlie Manuel, who once upon a time was a Dodger, back in 1974 and 75, Charlie brings a great club in here, and we'll take a look at his lineup, and the names are pretty well familiar to all of us. Jimmy Rollins leading off at short, Shane Victorino in center, Chase Utley at second base, Big Ryan Howard cleanup at first, Hunter Pence, formerly with the Astros, in right field, Raul Ibanez in left, Carlos Ruiz, the catcher. Michael Martinez might be the only unknown name at third base because Placido Polanco is not with the team, and Roy Halladay on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, the 36-year-old right-hander Hiroki Kuroda, 2-1 in 5 career starts against the Phillies, with a magnificent earned run average against Philadelphia of 0.84. His loss came at Citizens Bank Park this year, June the 8th, despite the fact he only allowed 1 run. He won for the first time in his last game by firing 7 scoreless innings in San Diego. And for Hiroki, the tough luck pitcher of the year, that would be his first win since July 1st. Now here come the Phils against him. Jimmy Rollins, Shane Victorino, and Chase Utley. Jimmy Rollins has 36 leadoff home runs, so you have to be very, very careful with him. And among other things, every now and then, you will pay for his fire of competition. And it happened in San Francisco. Victorino follows him in the lineup, and Jimmy Rollins against the Giants stole second with a 6-run lead. And Victorino then came up and was probably nailed in the back. And Shane, getting into a big brouhaha, eventually has been fined 3 games, but he's going to appeal. So normally you hear about a hit batter following someone who hit a home run. For Shane Victorino, he was nailed by a fella stealing a base. Jimmy Rollins will start it off. Jimmy, as he checks in, hitting .263, 13 home runs, 50 runs batted in, switch hitter, and the first pitch is a pitch a little high, fastball for ball 1. Rollins, among other things, when he scores a run in his leadoff role, the Phillies are 40-11. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Jimmy takes high, ball 2. He has a little sock, the 13 home runs. You can break them up. 11 hit left-handed and 2 right-handed. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way to Rollins, batting left-handed. He shies away, and the pitch is in for a strike. Against the Cubs at the end of July, Rollins homered from each side of the plate. So Kuroda has to be very, very careful with him. The 2-1 pitch to Jimmy Rollins. Hiroki delivers, and it's popped up. Angling out on the rim is Carroll behind Blake, and Casey Blake will make the catch. So Rollins pops it up to the third baseman, 1 away. Another beautiful evening here in Southern California. The temperature 69 degrees. So here comes Shane Victorino. And for Victorino, at one time he had the nickname the Flying Hawaiian. He was born in Maui and lives over in Wailuku. And he is a remarkable hitter, and his on-base percentage is staggering. Though Shane batting .306, 11 home runs, 40 runs batted in, and the left-hand hitter fouls the first pitch back, second deck, 0-1 the count. For Shane Victorino, he was originally signed by the Dodgers back in 1999 at a high school in Hawaii. Got as far as Vero Beach and then wound up with the Padres. And finally the Phillies in 2005. Next pitch is swung on and missed. 0-2 the count. The Flying Hawaiian certainly got that nickname because he excelled in track. But it was Mom who talked him not out of track, but playing both sports, and here he is in the big leagues. Strike 2 pitch is swung on and fouled away, out of play. For Shane Victorino, he ran the 100 meters in 10.6 to win the Hawaii State Championship. So you can understand if he gets on base, he's always a threat. Stole 37 as a high in the big leagues. So 0-2 the count. And the pitch to Shane, he takes very high. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Shane Victorino. At Dodger Stadium in his career as he faces Kuroda, Victorino is hitting .283. So Hiroki from the first base side of the rubber, and the 1-2 pitch is low in the dirt, splitter, and the count 2-2. Shane Victorino having a very big year. Double digits in stolen bases, triples, home runs, and stolen bases. The 2-2 pitch on the way is inside, ball 3. In looking at Victorino's numbers, 17 doubles, 12 triples, 11 home runs. So Victorino on a 3-2 count. Kuroda rocks back, then hesitates, then deals, and it's probably whacked into right center for a base hit. Kemp can't cut it off. It'll go to the wall. Victorino will go into second base. So the flying Hawaiian has stung early with a long double. So Victorino, who has always done well here at Dodger Stadium, he's had 2 home runs, 5 RBIs here, now doubles. And Chase Utley coming up. So Victorino at second base. Utley, left-hand hitter, checking in. Went to school at UCLA. Chase Utley is one of those rare players. His first major league hit was a grand slam home run against Colorado's Aaron Cook. There are a couple of other fellas who had first major league hits for grand slams, and 2 of them did it against the Dodgers. Utley hitting .288 with 8 home runs. Kuroda ready and delivers, and Chase looks at a strike. Bobby Bonds, Barry's father, hit a grand slam for his first major league hit against the L.A. Dodgers in 1968. And an outfielder with the Phillies, Jim Command, back in 1954. His first hit was a grand slam against the Brooklyn Dodgers. Strike one pitch coming up to Chase Utley. Kuroda delivers, little ground ball to the right side. Up with it there is Miles to get him. Taking third is Victorino, and the batter now will be big Frank Howard. So Utley grounding out, advancing a man. And Frank Howard, a memory of Frank as Ryan Howard comes up. He's as big left-handed as Frank was right-handed. Hitting .250, but with 24 home runs, 87 runs batted in. Ryan Howard was the Rookie of the Year back in 2005 and decided that wasn't a fluke. In 2006, he was the most valuable player. He has patience at the plate. He usually gets pretty deep in the count. Kuroda looks over as Victorino down the line. Hiroki delivers a high chopper off the glove. That's going to die on the grass. The throw to first is late. If Kuroda either gloves it or doesn't make the play, the run would not have scored. But once he got the glove on it, it slowed it on the grass. Casey Plate couldn't get it. So Ryan Howard gets a base hit. Scoring is Victorino. And the Phillies are on the board before the chairs are warm, 1-0. The Phillies have a remarkable record. You may and may not know that they had a 9-game winning streak snap in San Francisco. Well, following a loss, they have a record of 30-9. And here's the newest, Phil. Hunter Pence checking in. Right-hand hitting right fielder, bends at the knees and waist. Kuroda ready and delivers, and the pitch swung on and missed. 0-1. Ryan Howard over there at first base has just 1 stolen base. So Hunter Pence, a wonderful acquisition for Philadelphia. Not that Carlos Beltran was a bad deal for the Giants, but Pence is younger and figures to be around longer. The strike one pitch on the way. Hunter takes low and inside. Hunter Pence is one of the few fellas you will ever see choke up on the bat in the big leagues. I mean, he is 6'4", 215 pounds. You would expect he'd be on the knob, but he is not. He moves his hands a couple of inches above the end of the bat. The 1-1 pitch on the way to Hunter. Kuroda deals, and it swung on and foul back. Hunter Pence had a brother, Howie, who pitched in the Padre organization for a couple of years. And there's a good picture watching on TV. He's the last of the fellas who choke up. It's amazing. He's at 6'4", and when Jamie Carroll, Aaron Miles, all those little guys come up, they're all down on the knob like Babe Ruth. 1-2 to Hunter Pence. Kuroda ready, high set up around the bill of the cap, and the pitch down and away. 2-2 the count. So Pence, who went to school at the University of Texas in Arlington, came up to the Astros to stay in 2007. He had 3 years in a row with the Astros where he hit 25 home runs. The 2-2 pitch coming up. Kuroda delivers, swung on, ground ball into center field, base hit. Howard stops at second. So it is 1-0 Philadelphia. And now the batter will be Raul Ibanez.
Number 29, Raul Ibanez.
So for Kuroda, a tough inning only because that comebacker off the bat of Ryan Howard went off his glove. That scored Victorino instead of being the third out. Then Penn singles, and here's Ibanez struggling, hitting .243, but brings a lot of power. He has 16 home runs, 61 runs batted in. An accomplished guitarist. And I'm sure over in the Dodger dugout, a former teammate watching very interestingly as the pitch is swung on and fouled away. When he talks about his own ability of playing guitar, Raul Ibanez will say almost offhandedly, "Oh, I'm not an accomplished guitarist like Dave Hansen." But he said, "I can play." And then he talks about Hansen teaching him chords and all the other stuff that goes with playing the instrument. And Dave is leaning on a railing, talking to Tim Wallach. 0-1 the count to Raul Ibanez. 2 on, 2 out, a run in. And the strike one pitch on the way. Swung on and lifted back to first, down the line. Loney in foul ground, and he will make the catch just in foul ground, and that's the inning. 1 run, 3 hits in the first inning, and now Roy Halladay going to the mound. 1-0. The Philadelphia run. Here's the Dodger lineup now. Tony Gwynn in left, Casey Blake at third. Then you have Andre Ethier and Matt Kemp. Aaron Miles at second, hitting behind Kemp, followed by James Loney and Rod Barajas. Jamie Carroll playing short, batting eighth. Hiroki Kuroda on the mound. On the mound, Roy Halladay. His true name is Harry Leroy Halladay III. No one in the family likes the name Harry, so they took Leroy, cut that to Roy, and here he is. He brings a record of 14-4, and he is 6'6", 230 pounds. First pitch in for a strike to Tony Gwynn. Halladay, you could go on and on about him. He was last year's Cy Young Award winner. He won the award also in the American League with Toronto. The big guy strike one pitch on the way is a sinking fastball that misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. He had a perfect game against the Florida Marlins last year in May, striking out 11. Right-hander comes back 1-1. That's low to the backstop. Ball 2, 2-1. In October last year, Halladay also had a no-hitter against the Reds in the division series. So Tony Gwynn hitting .256, 15 runs batted in, trying to get aboard. Halladay over the top, and the pitch is outside. 3-1 the count. Of course, when you say Halladay over the top, not the way he used to be. He's actually dropped his arm angle just a little. He used to pitch like an Iron Mike machine. Fastball in there, 3-2. Basically 2 pitches, fastball and a knuckle curve. So Roy Halladay looks in, getting a sign. Carlos Ruiz checking signs for him. And the 3-2 pitch grounded to short. Jimmy Rollins up with it. And that'll do it for Tony Gwynn. 1 away. Another little background about Roy Halladay. His nickname is Doc. And you might wonder where in the world Doc comes from. Actually, it's a play on someone else's name, John Henry Halladay, who spells it like the holiday spelling. And he was Doc. Turned out to be a gunman and a gambler from the old Wild West. And that Doc Halladay was a dentist. Here's the first pitch now to Casey Blake. That's in for a strike. Casey hitting .245, 4 home runs, 20 runs batted in. Halladay comes back and finds the zone, and Blake in a hole now, 0-2. Casey Blake's had plenty of at-bats over in the American League against Halladay, and he's hitting .412 against him. Big Roy checking from the first base side of the rubber, and what looked like a big slider down and away. 1-2 the count. Anyway, that Doc Halladay, who was a dentist, was with Wyatt Earp at the OK Corral. So there's a lot of background to that nickname. 1-2 pitch on the way, fastball inside, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Roy Halladay's first major league victory was almost a no-hitter. He went 8 2/3 against Detroit, and Bobby Higginson had a pinch hit home run. Fly ball to right field. Pence a long way to come. He'll have to play it on a bounce. So the outfield deep and playing into pull. Casey Blake gets a fly ball single to right, and the batter will be Andre Ethier. Andre Ethier has really given Halladay a bad time. Andre hitting .306 against the league, 10 home runs, 51 runs batted in. But against Halladay, he's hitting .714. That means 5 for 7 with a home run. So Andre waiting, Halladay out of his stretch. Right-handed delivers, fastball pulled foul. A blur back into the chairs down the right field line, and the count 0-1. So Ethier says hello to Halladay and just hits one out of sight. No balls and 1 strike. Another thing about Halladay, he not only is a winner, but the Phillies win when he pitches. He is 14-4, but in his 23 starts, the Phillies are 19-4. Strike 1 pitch on the way, and Ethier hacks it up the middle, right between the legs of second base umpire Laz Diaz for a base hit. Well, now. So Ethier continues to shake him up. Laz Diaz had to hurdle the ball, and it wound up going right between his legs. Good play for Laz Diaz, who's been umpiring in the big leagues over 12 years. And he was working the 2007 World Series. You got to be agile out there, whether you're playing or umpiring. And Laz makes a good play. And the Dodgers, meanwhile, have runners at first and second. 1 out. And the batter, Matt Kemp. So 1-0 Philadelphia, and the Dodgers trying to come right back. Kemp 1 for 6 and fouls it away. Overall batting average .316. 26 home runs, 84 runs batted in. Interesting article on Matt Kemp in this edition of Sports Illustrated, and what you really don't think about, and yet after you read the article you can understand the pressure that's on a big, muscular, multi-talented athlete like Kemp. The crowd doesn't normally go for him right away. The next pitch low and away. They are far more inclined to go for David Eckstein, a little guy with limited ability. So the bigger you are, the more talent you have, there's more pressure on you. So here's Matt, 2 on, 1 out, first inning, 1-0 Phils. Halladay back and gets the inside corner for a strike. If you are thinking about it, Halladay has given up 9 home runs. The Dodgers have the best record of all National League teams against the Phillies in the last 5 years. 19-18. The 1-2 pitch, big chopper to third on the bag, and the throw to first to complete the double play as Michael Martinez turns 2 and Halladay is out of the jam. No runs, 2 hits, a man left. At the end of an inning, 1-0 Philadelphia. An inning, and the Phillies holding on to that 1-0 lead. Carlos Ruiz, Michael Martinez, and then Roy Halladay. Ruiz has done tremendous work, especially against the Dodgers. It seems like every time they play Philadelphia, Ruiz is a standout. He's from Chiriqui in Panama, hitting .265 with 4 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Right-hand hitting catcher lifts one foul out of play, and the count 0-2. In the League Championship Series in 2008, Ruiz hit .313, and in 2009 he wore the Dodgers out at .385. 5'11", 190, 32 years old, a hard-working kid from Panama. The strike 2 pitch very high, ball 1. When he was 10 years old, Carlos Ruiz was a laborer in the coffee bean fields, filling his apron pockets with beans till everything was stripped bare. He pokes one to right field, and here he goes again, tormenting the Dodgers with a base hit to right field. So for Kuroda, he gave up 3 hits in the first inning, and now he adds another one here. 1 run and 4 hits for the Phils, and the batter will be Martinez, playing third base. Michael Martinez is playing for Placido Polanco, who might very well not play for quite some time, and that would be bad news for the Phillies. Though Martinez carrying on at third for him. Kuroda delivers outside, ball 1. The problem with Polanco, he has a bad hip, and of course he's in his late 30s. So he's gone back to Philadelphia, and for Charlie Manuel, he loses a wonderful player, and he can hope that Michael Martinez, a switch hitter, will fill the bill. The 1-0 pitch on the way to Martinez, fouled away. Michael, not a big man by any means, 5'9", 150, 155 pounds. Always a threat to bunt. Originally signed by the Washington Nationals 6 years ago and came to Philadelphia this year. 1-1. Kuroda looks over at first. Nobody out. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Hiroki very deliberate and deals. Martinez a ground ball to Loney. He double clutches and then throws it behind Kuroda. Taking third is Ruiz. Home plate is wide open, and racing back is Barajas. So James Loney had two problems. He fielded the ball, and naturally he wanted to go to second to start a double play. But he double clutched. He didn't have a grip. So he now turned to try and feed it to Kuroda, and he threw it behind him. So first and third, nobody out instead of a possible double play. Kuroda tried to lean back, but that went by. So Martinez is aboard, and we'll just wait for all of the scoring. But we do know that the Phillies have runners at first and third, nobody out, second inning. Home plate was wide open because Barajas went up along first base to get the overthrow, and then Rod raced back to home plate, and Ruiz, after rounding third, stayed right there. We'll start simply and just say it was an error charge to Loney without getting too fancy. And first and third, nobody out. 1-0 Philadelphia. Roy Halladay coming up. He has 4 hits and he strikes out. Well, he struck out 29 times already. Let's see if they ask him to bunt. He has sacrificed 11 times. So that wouldn't be a bad play to get Martinez to second. Halladay at 6'6" gives you quite a strike zone, and he gets the bunt down. Beautiful play, and Kuroda throws to Miles covering. So Halladay does everything right. And on the error and the sacrifice, the Phillies have runners at second and third and one away. 12 sacrifices for Roy Halladay. And now Jimmy Rollins, the leadoff man, coming up. Jimmy Rollins out of Oakland, and is a rather remarkable hitter. They have several of them. A 3-time All-Star and the MVP, as we mentioned, 4 years ago. He was a rookie and made the All-Star team back in 2001. So first base open. Rollins with 50 runs batted in. Kuroda out of a stretch, checking the runners at second and third, and the pitch to Rollins, foul back. We're talking about Rollins being remarkable. They had 5 hitters, especially if Polanco was playing, whose strikeout totals were almost the same as the walks. Rollins has walked 48, struck out 47. Victorino has walked 38, walked and struck out 40. Utley, 28 walks, struck out 27. Polanco was 30-30, walks and strikeouts. Here's the strike one pitch to Jimmy Rollins, and he backs away. It's going to cost him a strike, and the count 0-2. And finally, another remarkable hitter is the catcher Carlos Ruiz, who's walked 34 times and struck out 36. So they're talented so many ways. This is a very good ball club. Second and third, 1 out. Phillies 1, Dodgers nothing, and they're looking for more. A bluff by Kuroda. Oh, and 2 the count. Rollins moving the wood back and forth. Kuroda out of a stretch. Right-hander very deliberate. Strike 2 pitch on the way in the dirt. Nice block by Rod Barajas. The old story, live by the sword, etc. And for Kuroda, with that splitter, he has 11 wild pitches. He bounced one, and Rod Barajas made a good block. So Hiroki going to walk this off for a while. 1-2 the count to Jimmy Rollins. All right, Kuroda back up on top. plants the right foot on the first base side of the rubber. Second and third, Ruiz and Martinez out there. And with one out, the 1-2 pitch to Jimmy Rollins. Kuroda delivers, fastball hit into right center. And that's going to roll to the wall. 2-run score. The Phillies lead 3-0 on a double by Jimmy Rollins. So the Dodgers finding ways to mess up. The ball that went off Kuroda's glove meant a run in the first inning. And now Loney's double clutch, the loss of the double play. Why, the Phillies take advantage and come right back with a deuce and lead 3-0. So Rollins doubles in a couple. And both Ruiz and Martinez come in easily. So 3-0 Philadelphia on 5 hits. 1 out. And Shane Victorino checking in, trying to pick up Rollins. Victorino batting .308. He doubled, scored a run in the first inning. And the pitch to Shane, a chopper to the right side. Miles makes the play to first. So that's the second out. Rollins takes third. And Chase Utley will now come up. Chase Utley does everything very well, and he has done it especially well here. Born in Pasadena, and he has a career batting average of .354 here at Dodger Stadium. Another thing that Utley does very well is steal bases. He is 11 for 11. Kuroda out of a stretch. Rollins walking down the line from third, and the pitch low and inside, ball 1. Rollins doubled and got third on the ground ball. One thing about Jimmy, he has stolen third base 7 times this year. Right now busily engaged talking to a former Dodger, the third base coach, Juan Samuel. 1 ball and no strikes to Chase Utley. Kuroda high set, looks at Rollins, comes back to Utley, and it's in for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Phillies were struggling a bit until Utley came off the DL, and then once he arrived, it seemed like the missing piece suddenly put everything in place, and the Phillies were off and running. They're leading here 3-0 with 2 out. Utley waits, and the 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on and fouled off third, well out of play. 1-2 the count to Chase. He's 6'1", 185, and will be 33 in the middle of December. Utley had a lot of problems, which slowed down Philadelphia. Certainly, they need him desperately. In and out of the box. Last year, he had a torn ligament in his right thumb. He had to have surgery. That set him out for quite a while. And then he had tendonitis in the patella tendonitis, and he was out from February until late May. 1-2 the count to Utley, and he swings, and a high fly ball to right appears playable. Ethia backtracks, but he's still on the grass when he makes the catch for the out. 1 run earned of the 2, and at the end of an inning and a half, Phillies 3, Dodgers 0. Philadelphia. And in the bottom of the second inning, Aaron Miles, James Loney, and Rod Barajas. What is maddening for Hiroki Kuroda is that 4 of the 5 Philadelphia hits have come with 2 strikes on the hitter. Talking about strikes, Miles takes one, and the count 0-1. Aaron Miles hitting .295, 1 home run, 29 runs batted in. Halladay back, check swing, another strike, and the count 0-2. Aaron Miles has never faced Halladay before. The 2-strike pitch is swung on, and down he goes. So Miles strikes out. Strikeout number 1 for Halladay. A reminder tomorrow, Duke Snider bobblehead night presented by State Farm. Dodgers celebrating the life of the Hall of Famer. Dodgers and Phillies at 7:10. To take home your own mini Duke of Flatbush, visit Dodgers.com/promotion. The pitching tomorrow night, Cliff Lee 11-7, Ted Lilly 7-11, and that'll be on KCAL 9. So 1 away, 3-0 Philadelphia. James Loney takes a hook for a strike. That's that knuckle curveball, 0-1. Loney hitting .251, hit his 5th home run in Arizona yesterday. Chases a knuckle curve in the dirt, and the count 0-2. The Phillies have been improving every year, and of course getting Halladay and Lee, they have really improved, along with Vance Worley, Cole Hamels. The strike 2 pitch fouled away. If you go back to 2006, the Phillies won 85 games. The next year, 89. In 2008, they won 92 games and were the World Series champions. In 2009, they won 93. Roy Oswald addressing his teammates in the dugout. In 2010, the Phillies won 97 games, and that meant they had the best record in baseball for the first time in 128 years. The 1-2 pitch is outside. This year, the Phillies come into this game looking for victory number 75, and they're on a pace to win 105, which would mean in the last 5 years they've improved 20 games. Shot up the middle by Loney, through into center field for a base hit. Those of you watching on television on that base hit, you might notice the cutout area in center field. And what you are looking like is a number 4. And of course that will mean a great deal tomorrow night as we salute the memory of Edwin Duke Snider. The Duke. Meanwhile, Loney with a base hit, and the batter now Rod Barajas. Halladay has allowed 3 hits. The Dodger task is formidable. Halladay's earned run average is 2.5, and the Phillies lead 3-0. The Barajas checking in, looks at a strike, and the count 0-1. Barajas has 1 hit in 12 at-bats against Halladay, and that 1 hit, a home run. Hitting .230 against the league with 10 home runs, 28 runs batted in. His latest home run hit against the tub he used to play with, Arizona Diamondbacks. Strike 1 pitch is a fastball fouled away. Tough pitch to handle. Good hard fastball down and in. I remember that Greg Maddux said that's the toughest pitch for a pitcher, to get a strike down and in to a right-handed batter if the pitcher is right-handed. Now the strike 2 pitch to Barajas, and that's in the dirt, blocked nicely by Ruiz, and the count 1-2. So Roy Halladay starting it off, and of course the big discussion for years will be how good is the Philadelphia starting staff with Halladay, Oswald, Hamels, and Lee. Would you compare that to Greg Maddux, Tommy Glavine, John Smoltz, and Denny Nagel? The 1-2 pitch foul back. The 1998 Braves, Maddux had an earned run average of 2.2. Glavine was 2.4. Smoltz was 2.9. Nagel, the left-hander, was 3.5. Well, when you look at the starting pitchers for Philadelphia together, they have an earned run average of 2.9. Barajas, meanwhile, little pop fly, and it will be the second baseman, Utley. So 2 out, Loney holding at first, and Jamie Carroll coming up. Anyway, one way or another, you get the idea of just how talented this Philadelphia starting staff is. 98 Braves, their combined earned run average was 2.7. So that would be better than Philadelphia if that's going to settle the issue, and I doubt it will. So here's Jamie Carroll. And he backs off the pitch low, ball 1-0. Jamie hitting .294. He has 10 runs batted in with 2 outs, second inning. Jamie 10 RBIs as usual. Looked at the first pitch. The next one in for a strike, and the count 1-1. There is a new award that they hand out to one player in every team. It's called the Heart and Hustle Award. And Jamie Carroll received that award before the game. It was given to him by Maury Wills. Jamie fouls it off. 1-2 the count. The Major League Baseball Players Alumni Association made the announcement as Jamie Carroll, the Dodger winner of the Heart and Hustle Award. So 2 out, 1-2 the count to Jamie, with Hiroki Kuroda on deck. Big Halladay out of a stretch. The 1-2 pitch is a line drive that turns out to be a one-hopper, and Jimmy Rollins turns it into a force play. Sinking line drive, and Rollins made it look easy. Just backhanded and short hopped it and got the force, and at the end of 2, 3-0 Philadelphia. Halladay, when he gets 3 runs or more in his career, he is 164-19. He's won the last 23 straight when he's given 3 runs of support, and he's leading 3-0 right now. So that is quite a mountain to climb, and the Dodgers have to do it. Meanwhile, Philadelphia will have Ryan Howard, Hunter Pence, and Ibanez. We're just looking up something. We were checking about Ryan Howard and home runs. Kuroda into the windup, delivers. Ryan holds up, ball 1. Dodgers have a triangle defense. Loney is on the line. Carroll is on the other side of the bag. Miles is 20 feet out in the grass in shallow right field. Ryan Howard and home runs. The 1-0 pitch on the way, and that's on the outside corner. Big Ryan has 277 career home runs. He got to the 100 home run mark faster than any player in big league history. He did it in 325 games. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed. That's better than, let's say, Ralph Kiner by 60 games. So 277. And you figure if he stays healthy, he might very well get to 500. The 1-2 pitch on the way to Howard, and he takes in the dirt. Ryan is 6'4", 255 pounds. He's just about number 5 in the best RBI per game ratio ever. Lou Gehrig, Hank Greenberg, Joe DiMaggio, Babe Ruth, and Ryan Howard. The 2-2 pitch on the way is lifted to left field. Going back on the ball is Gwynn. Not quite on the track, and makes the catch for the out. The long fly ball to left, one away, and the batter coming up will be Hunter Pence. The Howard going back to the dugout. Pence on his way up to the plate. Hunter Pence will probably mean a lot of money for Hunter from Philadelphia as he swings at a pitch. When the Astros traded him away, it wasn't just giving away a young star. They were trading a 4th-year arbitration eligible player and figures to make at least $9 million in arbitration. Chases a bad ball that was almost over his head. 0-2 the count. So the Astros got 4 minor leaguers, and they'll be paid the minimum. And for the Phillies, Pence is worth the price. Strike 2 pitch on the way. Hunter takes low and away. Ball 1. 1-2 the count. Hunter 6'4", 215, 28 years old. The 1-2 pitch on the way. The right fielder swings. Fouls it off to the right of the plate. Barajas hustling over, but it's 3 rows behind the visiting dugout, and the count remains 1-2. We mentioned earlier that Hunter Pence has a brother, Howard, who was a pitcher. They thought that Howard would be the superstar, but he never made the big leagues. But Hunter certainly did, and he got a big assist while playing in Houston from Craig Biggio. And then 3 years ago, and this is right out of Hollywood. 1-2 the count to Hunter Pence. Kuroda delivers, and it is fouled away. May the 21st, 2008, before that night's game, Hunter Pence received a text message from his brother Howard that said, "Hit one for the new HP." That was the couple's first child, a daughter they named Haley. So Howard sent Hunter a picture of the newborn along with text. A couple hours later, Hunter hit a home run. Right now, line drive, single to center. So Kuroda, who has been hurt by defense, but he's also not fooling the Phils. He is now allowed 6 hits. You know, Sunday at 1:10, the Astros are going to be here. First 15,000 ticketed children 14 and under in attendance receive their own Dodger backpack. Compliments of Sports Authority. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotion. So here's Raul Ibanez, fouled out to Loney in the first inning. Phillies 3 runs, 6 hits. Dodgers no runs, 3 hits. Ibanez, left-hand batter, hitting .242. They throw to first. Pence back on the bag. Hunter Pence has stolen 7 out of 8. So you have to watch him for sure. Pence getting a base hit with 2 strikes, and that brings up the point of the 4 of the 5 Philly hits coming with 2 strikes. So they're wearing Kuroda out when they have the count his way. the pitch of the plate fouled away. For instance, Victorino doubled. He was behind 0-2 and hit a 3-2 pitch. Hunter Pence 2-2 twice, each time a base hit. Ruiz, the count was 1-2, and the catcher singled to right. And Jimmy Rollins, when he doubled in the second inning, the count was 1-2. 0-1 the count to Ibanez. Kuroda delivers a shot up the middle, smothered by Kuroda, goes to Carroll, back to Loney, and they get the double play. 1-6-3 if you're scoring. No runs a hit, nobody left. At the end of 2.5 innings, 3-0 Phillies. Go to the bottom of the third. Halladay getting ready to pitch to Kuroda, and the first one is a trifle high, ball one. Hunter Pence very shallow in right field. Victorino shading a little towards right center, and Ibanez straight away in left. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Kuroda lines it foul into the lower deck. 1 ball and 1 strike. We can duck in a couple of scores. The Astros are leading the D-backs 7-0 in the third inning. They were all over 11-game winner Daniel Hudson. The 1-1 pitch is hit, soft flare, backhanded by Utley. The Kuroda just held the bat out, flared it, and Utley was able to cover, and we have 1 away. The batter will be Tony Gwynn. Wandy Rodriguez is the starter for Houston, leading the D-backs 7-0. Meanwhile, the Pirates are leading the Giants 2-0 in the third inning. That's Charlie Morton against Ryan Vogelsong. Remember, the Pirates had lost 10 straight. They're 1-12 since losing that controversial 19-inning game in Atlanta. Remember that play at home plate where everybody thought the tag had been made and the umpire said no. So 1 out in the third. Gwynn swings, doesn't get it, and the count 0-1. Roy Halladay so far, believe it or not, is a throwback. He has a half a dozen complete games. A half a dozen. The strike one pitch on the way, and that swung on and missed. For Halladay, among active major league pitchers, he's #1 in complete games. He has 64. He also has 19 career shutouts. We gave you that long career when he gets 3 runs. This year, if the Phillies score 3 for him, he is 13-0. So Roy Halladay, quite a pitcher, quite an acquisition. The 1-2 pitch on the way is swung on and missed. Down goes Gwynn. 2 out here in the 3rd inning. That would be strikeout number 2 for Halladay, and it'll bring up Casey Blake. Casey Blake hit a flare into right field for a base hit and was eventually cut down at 3rd on the double play in which Kemp grounded to 3rd. So 2 out, 3rd inning, 3-0 Philadelphia. Casey Blake takes low, ball 1, 1-0. Halladay, who averages 110 pitches a game, sends a sinker a little low. So far, he's made 44 pitches, and he's in the 3rd inning. Roy into the windup, the 2-0 pitch, and that's low, though he's behind the Blake, 3-0. Casey Blake with that single to right field is 8 for 18 against Halladay. That's at least about 420. The 3-0 pitch to Casey looks at a strike. 3-1. Casey back up and waiting. Halladay ready in the 3-1 pitch, and that's low, ball 4 for Halladay, his first walk to go with 2 strikeouts. And the batter will be Andre Ethier, who hits him hard. Andre Ethier single to center. So he's 6 for 8. So Andre hitting .750 against Roy Halladay. And over the last 10 games, he's been red hot with 4 RBIs. So Ethier, with the club down 3-0, checks in. Halladay delivers big knuckle curveball low and inside. Ball 1, 1-0. For Halladay, not to get too statistical, but he's almost 4-1 strikeouts for every walk. 1-0 the count to Andre Ethier. 3-0 Philadelphia. Bottom of the 3rd. Ethier takes a strike outside corner, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, you see somebody like Roy Halladay and you realize what a successful athlete he is, but it wasn't always that way. The 1-1 pitch, Ethier line drive off the glove of Howard, picked up by Utley, throws back to Howard, safe. Andre Ethier rips a base hit off the glove of Ryan Howard. Chase Utley alertly backed up and threw to Howard, but Ethier had beaten the play. So the Dodgers, with 1 out, have runners at 1st and 2nd. Had Utley been able to get the ball out of his glove a fraction of a second sooner, he would have gotten Ethier. But Utley trying so hard, couldn't get it out the first try, and that was the difference. So 2 on with 2 out, and here's Matt Kemp, who grounded into a double play in the 1st inning. For the Dodgers, that would be their 4th hit against Halladay. So Matt representing the tying run and takes a strike. 0-1. Halladay in a hole. Kemp has hit safely 13 of his last 14. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way, and a knuckleball foul back. 0-2. At one time, Roy Halladay was really down. He kept looking at just how horrible life can be in baseball. He was demoted from the Toronto Blue Jays back to Class A Dunedin. I mean, he felt like he had hit the bottom of the barrel. And his wife spent a lot of time in bookstores buying inspirational books, and none really hit the mark. And then she came up with a book, and she laughed out loud. She couldn't believe the title, The Mental ABCs of Pitching by Dorfman. Strike 2 pitch, and Kemp, a towering pop fly, Howard backtracking, but Uttler's going to haul him off, and Chase makes the catch. Anyway, reading that book by Dorfman saved Holliday's baseball life, and at the end of 3, he's leading 3-0. For a limited time, Jack's Really Big Chicken Sandwich Combo is back for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. And by your Southern California Ford dealers. Visit us today and trade up to Ford. Phillies lead the Dodgers 3-0 in the 4th inning. Philadelphia capitalizing on a couple of loose plays. The Dodgers frustrating themselves with 4 hits and no runs. Carlos Ruiz, the right-hand hitting catcher, will start it off. Check swing, ball 1. Ruiz single to right in the 2nd inning. We were talking earlier about what a hard-working childhood he had at the tender age of 10. And he smokes this thing. Kemp will pick it off on the dead run. So Ruiz lines out. 1 away here in the 4th inning. The batter now will be Michael Martinez. Ruiz from Chiriqui, Panama. Maybe we can tell you about how hard he labored, and it certainly paid off. Michael hitting .220. He can play a lot of positions, and with Polanco down, they've asked him to play third base. One ball and no strikes. Ball 2. In looking at Martinez, you realize what kind of a man he's replacing. Placido Polanco was originally signed by the Cardinals and came up in 1999, and Tony La Russa really paid him a compliment. Foul back. La Russa once said of Polanco, if I was a dad and I wanted my son to be a player, I'd say, we're going to go and watch this guy. Let's watch everything he does. So when a manager wants you to copy a player, that's a great compliment. Oh, Martinez bangs one for a base hit. A 1-out single. 7 hits now against Kuroda. And the batter will be Matt Halladay. Roy Halladay. Halladay sacrificed in the 2nd inning. He has 12 sacrifices. Three runs, 7 hits for Philadelphia, no runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. Foul the bunt, 0-1. Doc Halladay. 6'6", 230 pounds, 34 years old. Born in Denver, lives in Florida. Martinez at first with 1 out. Showing bunt. Got it down again. It's a wonderful talent for a wonderful pitcher. 2 sacrifices tonight and 13 this year. And that'll bring up Jimmy Rollins. Interesting how life works out. Thinking back to when Roy Halladay was growing up in the Denver area, and the 2 rival high schools played. The other player's team defeated Halladay's team, and the other fella pitching for the other team, Brad Lidge, who is now the #1 closer for the Phils and their teammates. Boy, what a dare. Martinez was just daring Rod Barajas to throw back to second. He came halfway to third. Of course, with Jimmy Rollins having stolen third 7 times, you have to really watch anybody out there. 1 ball and no strikes. That's a strike. 2 out, runner at second, 4th inning, 3-0 Philadelphia. Martinez 3 for 3 in stolen bases. Rollins hitting .264. A lot of things about the Phillies contribute to their 74 wins. They score with 2 out. Their hitters certainly know how to swing the bat. They're 15th in strikeouts. 1-1. Almost hit him. Ball 2. Two and 1 to Jimmy Rollins with 2 out, 4th inning, and the Phillies lead 3-0. Ball 3. So Kuroda working hard. He's made 63 pitches. He's had to work out of his stretch a lot. Double play helped him in the 3rd inning. Off speed for ball 4. So Rollins draws the walk. That's the first walk given up by Kuroda, and it'll bring up Shane Victorino. Victorino tonight is 1 for 2. That would make him just 3 for 16 against Kuroda. But against the league, Shane hitting .307. And a strike. Phillies with some renowned sluggers, but if you combine the on-base percentage plus a slugging percentage, surprisingly enough, Victorino is better than Big Howard. It would be Pence, Victorino, then Utley, then Howard. 0-1 to Shane. 1-1. Victorino is only 5'9" and about 180. Dodgers signed him back in 1999. And he's had a great career with the Phillies. Joined them in 05 and can surprise you. Last year he had 18 home runs. In the dirt, smothered again by Barajas. 2-1 the count. For Shane Victorino, not only is he very popular in Hawaii, his father ran for the Maui County Council and won with 70% of the vote. 2-1 the count. Two and two. Victorino wearing number 8, and that has some meaning for him. Once upon a time he wore 18. He gave that away to West Helms. So he got a new watch for that. So he decided to go number 8. That's what he wore in high school. His mother's birthday is on the 8th. Back about 05 he wore number 8. So here he is. Check swing foul. It was 4 years ago when Philadelphia released a Victorino bobblehead doll. It featured Shane in a grass skirt, giving the shake a sign. They tell me in Hawaiian that means hang loose. It was so popular they gave several of them to select Liberty cab drivers to put on their dashboards so lucky riders would have something to look at. The Shane Victorino hula. Still up there 2-2, and Barajas got a little bit of that. Rod looking over at the Dodger dugout. Somebody's getting on him, or maybe it's somebody in the Phillies hollering. The plate umpire, John Hirschbeck, will take a little time. Meanwhile, Martinez holding at second. Talking about wearing the 8. In October of 2008, Victorino gave the Dodgers yet another bad time. Strike 3 on the inside corner. Shane can't believe it, but he's done. Yeah, in October of 08, he had a single and a triple, drove in 4 in game 2 of the LCS. He's done now, and at the end of 3.5 innings, 3-0 Philadelphia. Go. Try one of 4 new delicious flame grilled chicken burritos. For a limited time, they're only $5 each. Buy K-Swiss Tubes, the official shoe of muscles everywhere. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Phillies take a 3-0 lead into the bottom of the 4th inning. Aaron Miles fouls that pitch away. 0-1 the count. Aaron hitting .294. 3 runs, 7 hits for Philadelphia. By the way, that strikeout of Victorino was Kuroda's first strikeout of the night. 0-2 the count to Miles. Aaron struck out in the 2nd inning. Hiroki has made 72 pitches, and as usual, he's pitching well enough, and a couple of defensive lapses put him in a hole. In the 1st inning with 2 out and a runner at 3rd, there was a high chopper back to the mound by Ryan Howard. Kuroda got his glove on it, couldn't hold it. The ball then died on the grass, so Howard had an infield single. More importantly, Victorino scored a run. And then in the 2nd inning, with a runner at 1st and nobody out, a double play ball to James Loney, but he bobbled, double clutched, lost the double play, then tossed it behind the covering Kuroda, and that set it up for 2 runs. Little ground ball up. 1 away here in the 4th inning. Well, are you in the mood for a little trivia? Here's the question. Roy Halladay is one of 5 pitchers to win the Cy Young Award in both leagues. Who are the other 4? Well, we'll give you the answer in a while. Meanwhile, he's got 1 out, 4th inning. Loney singled up the middle in the 2nd inning, checking in. Hit down the line, foul, out of play. You know, no Phillies team in the live ball era has had more success with a starter and the mound than the Phillies have had with Roy Halladay. I mean, it's remarkable with the team such a short time. 0-2. In a single season, the best team record, Halladay, the team has won 19 of his 23 starts. Hall of Famer Robin Roberts back in 1952 was 29-8. As a one hopper. Oh, what a nice pick by Ryan Howard. 2 down. And the batter will be Rod Barajas. Tommy Green was 23-7 as far as the team when he pitched. Phillies were 18-6 with Kurt Schilling, and John Denny was 27-9 back in 1983. So Roy Halladay, with his own pitching and plays like that by Ryan Howard, has really been a successful pitcher for a very successful team. And Barajas, a fly ball to left field. Ibanez is there, and that'll be that. Dodgers go quickly in the 4th, and at the end of 4, Phillies 3, Dodgers nothing. Log on to take part in the most interactive forum during Dodger games. Stats, trends, and live Twitter feeds. Fox Sports Game Connect. Now available on foxsportswest.com. Fifth inning, 3-0 in favor of Philadelphia. Hiroki Kuroda will be working now against Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, and Hunter Pence. Chase Utley tonight is 0 for 2, which would affect his overall batting average here at Dodger Stadium. Remember, we pointed out in his career he was hitting .358 here. The best career batting average in Dodger Stadium history by a visiting player, Roberto Clemente, hit .377. Utley not quite ready. By the way, you may remember that Chase Utley back in 06 had a 35-game hitting streak, and he now goes 1 for 3 with that single to right. We bring that up because tonight Dan Uggla got a fifth-inning infield single, extending his hitting streak to 29 games down in Florida. Braves beat Florida. And going back, Uggla was hitting .173 on the 5th of July. That's when the streak began. His streak is only 2 shy of Rico Cardi's Atlanta record of 31. That was set in 1971. And here's the important note: the longest hitting streak by a second baseman since Utley hit in 35 straight in 2006. Pop foul off third. Nobody over there anyway. And it's going to go back in the stand. Dodgers with that three-man defensive alignment on the right side. Casey Blake all alone on the left. Ryan Howard, big trombone player when he was in high school. Say he was pretty good too, although most people felt that he wasn't going to give up music for baseball. 0-1 the count. By the way, Chase Utley comes into this game with a perfect stolen base mark of 11-0, and actually going back to last year, he has stolen 18 straight without being caught. One and one. Howard back in 2006 when he was the MVP. He hit 58 home runs. So that shattered the former Philadelphia home run mark as Charlie Manuel talks to Raul Ibanez. Mike Schmidt hit 48 in 1980, and Howard roared by him. Runner goes, they throw down, he is safe. It was close. So Utley is 12 for 12 this year and 19 straight. Just another thing he does so very well. Good throw by Barajas and a good slide by Utley. The tag by Carroll couldn't get to him. By the time he did, left foot was on the bag. Late. So Utley in scoring position, and a 2-1 count to Ryan Howard. Two and two. Ryan Howard in 2005 was in the minor leagues, and they sent him. Actually, he was with the big club briefly, and then they sent him down to AAA, and he asked for a trade. He had had 2 big years in the minor leagues. Couldn't understand why he'd be sent out. They stayed with him, and he wound up being Rookie of the Year. All the way. Ryan Howard has a sister and 2 brothers, including a twin, Corey. As big as he is, 6'4", 255, he's not as big as his older brother, and he isn't as tall as his twin brother. Quite a sizable family. 2-2 out of Missouri. Well, down goes Howard, 1 away. Utley holding at second. That's only the second strikeout for Kuroda. And the batter, Hunter Pence. Just got it by him, and he was unable to extend the arms. So Pence, 2 for 2, 2 singles to center field. Hunter out of Arlington, Texas, lives in Houston. Ball 1. An oil family. His older brother pitched in the Padre organization. His father is in the oil industry, so brother joined him. One ball and no strikes. That's a strike. Utley single to right, stole second. He's on that streak, 19 straight and 12 straight this year. One and two. Pence, 28 years old, so figures to have a great career in front of him, and he's had a very good career already. Hitting .314. 2-2. Phillies scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Now they have Utley at second base and 1 out in the 5th. When Hunter Pence became a Philly, he started off on a high note with an 8-game hitting streak. Going after a pitch up, and he comes up empty. So after the single by Utley and a stolen base, Kuroda turns right around to strike out Howard and Pence. Pence going after a bad ball. So with 2 out, Raul Ibanez will be coming up. Ibanez hitting .241. He was born in Manhattan, grew up in Miami. The family's from Cuba. And actually, his mother was pregnant with him when she, his father, 2 young sons arrived from Cuba to the United States, and he was born in Manhattan. Tough what happens, though, to somebody like that. His father, a college graduate, was a chemist, but he had to change jobs first of all to get a visa. With a college degree and a trained chemist, his dad had to work in the sugarcane fields in order to win an exit visa for the family. And then when they came over here, His father had to start a new life. He was working in warehouses for cruise lines. In fact, Raul's first job was a fruit basket maker for Carnival Cruises. Well, he's come a long way. 0-2. Ball one. Ibanez is 39 years old. Signed by the Mariners back in 1992, and originally they drafted him to be either a catcher or a first baseman. Ground ball. The other end of it is Aaron Miles. So it's a nice job by Kuroda. Gives up a single and a stolen base to Utley, and then strikes out Howard and Pence and gets Ibanez, and it's still 3-0 Philadelphia. Nothing lead behind Roy Halladay. Dodgers will have Jamie Carroll, then Hiroki Kuroda and Tony Gwynn. Jamie Carroll hit into a force play in the second inning, hitting .294, and we will see if Jamie continues to take that first pitch. Yep. Ball one. Outfield on Jamie. Shallow in right, Pence is up. Victorinos in shallow right center. Ibanez reasonably deep in left. 2-0. Halladay through 4 innings has walked 1. That would be Casey Blake in the 3rd inning. And he has struck out 2. In there. 2-1. We were talking before about how depressed he was when they sent him back to Class A. And his wife bought all kinds of books, and one particularly rang the bell. Oh, sure, he got his hands on Nolan Ryan's Pitcher's Bible. But the other book, the mental part of the game, that's what really turned him around completely. From Denver, but he was going to go to school. He had signed a letter of intent with the University of Arizona, and then the Blue Jays gave him a bunch of money, and that was that. Meanwhile, Jamie Carroll singles to right to open up matters in the 5th inning. Well, while Kuroda makes his way up to the plate, we can give you the answer to tonight's trivia question. Roy, one of 5 pitchers to win the Cy Young Awards in both leagues. Who are the other 4? Gaylord Perry, Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, and Roger Clemens. Kuroda shows bunt, drops it on the chalk. They're going to let it go fair, and it's going to be a base hit. Well, that's twice we've seen that in the last couple of games. D. Gordon in Arizona dropped a bunt up along third. Ryan Roberts just let the ball roll, and it stayed fair. Now Kuroda bunts. Ryan Howard lets the ball decide issues, and the Dodgers have first and second and nobody out as the ball just stays on the chalk. And it's actually going back towards the infield. Whoops, hit his foot, so that's that anyway. All right, first and second, nobody out. Let's see if Gwynn bunts. And he does. Halliday's only play is to first. So just like that, the Dodgers have a rally going. Second and third, one out, and Casey Blake coming up. Good bunt by Tony Gwynn to move them up. That would be only his second bunt this year, but it was a dandy. So Blake, Ethier, and Kemp lined up, one out, first base open, and the Dodgers trying to get back into the game, down 3-0. Blake flared a single to right and walked. Fastball strike. Oh, 0-1 to Casey. Halliday has made 71 pitches. High chopper to short. That'll get a run in. So Casey grounds to short. Picks up the run batted in. Carroll carries the run in. And it's 3-1 Philadelphia. With two out, Andre Ethier, who is 2 for 2 against Halliday. So Casey grounds to short, RBI, fives all around. Ethier, the last guy that Halliday wants to see. Andre has 7 hits in 9 at-bats against Roy Halladay. Off speed, that's that knuckle curveball for a strike. 0-1. Kuroda at second base with that bunt single. Drops another one, but low. 1-1 to count. Halliday's pitch count up to 74. Fastball missed at 89. 2-1. One thing about Halladay, he is big, a very knowledgeable pitcher, but he is not that overpowering. But he moves pitches around so well, in and out, up and down. Picks up the outside corner at 90. That's about where he's been all night. 2-2 to Andre. 2 out. 5th inning, a run in, and the Phillies lead 3-1. Off the corner. On deck, Matt Kemp. Utley 5 feet out on the grass on the right side. And a knuckle curve is missed at the plate. So Ethier goes down swinging. The Dodgers get a couple of base hits, one a bunt, get one, and trail 3-1. There were over 52,000 at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers leading the Cubs in the 9th inning, but they were in trouble. And so for the 4th straight night, Eric Gagne came in and saved the game to give him 39 consecutive saves. How'd he do it? He struck out Sammy Sosa swinging. He got Moises Alou looking. And he finally ended up with a Ramos Ramirez and a fly ball to left field. The great Gagne had struck again, and the Dodgers won it 3-1. Let's go back to this one. Three to 1 in favor of Philadelphia. For the Phils, it'll be their catcher, Carlos Ruiz, followed by Michael Martinez, and then the pitcher, Roy Halladay. Ruiz singled to right, scored a run, fly to center. Carlos batting .267, 4 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Right, 0-1. Hiroki Kuroda hanging tough. One and one. Kuroda has not had an easy inning in the sense he's pitched out of a stretch almost the entire night. Had a tough inning and got out of it nicely in the 5th when Utley singled and stole second, and they left him. Fastball, hopper to plate. Ruiz grounds to third, 1 down, and Michael Martinez coming up. Martinez hit the ground ball to Loney, and it handcuffed James completely and eventually set it up for a 2-run inning. And then last time up, Martinez singled, and they left him at second base. Phillies have left 6 in 5 innings. In there, 0-1. Blake wide of the bag at third, and Martinez is a pretty good bunter. Loney is deep at first. 1 ball and 1 strike. Michael doesn't give you a big strike zone. He's only 5'9". Bad ball, he couldn't hold up. Pence went after a bad ball. So did Howard. And all of the pitches up. And a comebacker. Nice play by Kuroda. 2 down here in the 6th inning. You know, you can enjoy our most flexible plan ever with the home stretch pack. For $100, you can purchase 8 infield reserve vouchers that you can mix and match any way you like during the remainder of the 2011 regular season. For more information, go to Dodgers.com/homestretch or call 323-224-1365. Ball 1. Roy Halladay has been asked to bunt twice, and he has done so successfully to give him 13 sacrifice bunts. He has 4 hits. 0-2. Three runs, 8 hits for the Phils, 1 run, 6 hits for the Dodgers. 0-2. Interesting that Roy Halladay has bunted successfully twice for a sacrifice, because the Phillies don't usually play that way. They're 16th, the bottom of the heap, in sacrifice bunt attempts. Off the plate. One and 2 to Halladay. Down he goes. Fourth strikeout for Hiroki Kuroda. And for the first time tonight, he does not have to pitch out of the stretch in an inning. And at the end of 5 1/2, 3-1 Phils. The first inning with 2 out and Victorino at third. The chopper by Howard just off the fingertips of Kuroda. That took the play away from Casey Blake, and Victorino scored. Then they came right back on an error by Loney to score 2 more. So the Dodgers, usually cruel to Kuroda offensively, and in a sense they've done the same thing to him defensively tonight. But typically of Hiroki, he is still very much in the game. Phillies 3, Dodgers 1, and it'll be Kemp, Miles, and Loney in the bottom of the 6th inning. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Scott Elbert, the left-hander, begins to loosen up. They get him up because in the 7th you have 2 switch hitters, Rollins and Victorino. You'll turn them around, and then you have left-handers Utley and Howard. Strike to Kemp. Well, we told you at the start of the game that Doc Holliday, that nickname Doc, comes from a dentist from the Old West. And for Kemp, like going to the dentist, he grounded into a double play in the first inning and popped up in the third. Kemp is 1 for 8 against Holliday. 2-1. Roy hitting 92 on the gun. That's about as high as he has been tonight. Just missing that inside corner. 3-1. He walked Casey Blake in the 3rd inning. That's his only walk. Three and 2. So that was a challenge. You knew Kemp was green lighted 3-1. Halliday went with a fastball. 3-2. So will he come back with the same? And that's going to be slapped into right center for a base hit. Hunter Pence going deep, and falling down is Matt Kemp. So he has to hold at first. Whether Matt was actually thinking about going for 2, since Pence did not look too sure on that, so you'd assume he probably would have taken second. Got a pitch off the plate, bangs it into right. Now Pence is going to lose his balance out there a little bit right there, but Matt Kemp had fallen down hitting the bag. When you run the bases correctly, you're really trying to hit the inside of the bag to prevent a big loop. And it looked like Matt hit the bag correctly, the inside, and his foot just slipped out from under him. Look, there's the inside of the bag. Yep. Oh, it slipped on the base, so he didn't get the side. That's why they teach you to try and hit the side of the bag to stay on your feet. Well, we'll see how important that is. Foul ball. He is a big man, is Roy Halladay, and big men usually have one problem. There's a lot of moving around before you deliver the ball. Halladay, in his career, has given up 190 stolen bases. 77% success ratio. Ball in the air, landing in front of Pence. Kemp stops at second, and the tying runs are aboard with nobody out. So for Charlie Manuel, he's seeing his ace in some trouble again. Dodgers had 2 on in the first inning. Kemp hit into the double play. They had 2 on in the third inning when Kemp popped up. They had 2 on in the fifth inning when Ethier struck out. And now they have 2 on, nobody out. Loney, Barajas, and Carroll. Loney singled and hit a shot that was short hopped by Howard. Made a fine play. And ball 1. Halladay being challenged yet again by the Dodgers. The 4th time in 6 innings. 1 ball and no strikes. That's in there. For Halladay, 88 pitches made thus far with nobody out in the 6th. A very light breeze blowing out to right field for the first time tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled away off third, upstairs. 1 and 2. Hope you make your plans if you can. Be out here tomorrow night. That'll be Cliff Lee with a record of 11 and 7 against Ted Lilly 7 and 11. If you can make it, it'll be on KCAL 9. Then the final game Wednesday at 12:10. Vance Worley 8 and 1 against Chad Billingsley 10 and 9. That one will be on Prime. One and 2 the count to James Loney, hitting .253, 5 home runs, 35 runs batted in. Ground foul outside of first, just missed going down the line. Still 1 and 2 to James. Loney, of course, no doubt remembering the Martinez ground ball where he had a double play or at least a force and couldn't make it. And that set up the difference, the 2 runs that the Phillies lead by. So Kemp and Miles are out there. And a drive to right, but Pence comes up, makes the catch, falls to his knees and holds on. If you could watch that pitch, if we could take a look at it, watch Carlos Ruiz, the Philadelphia catcher. Look at where he goes, and the ball is out there. The Halladay missed by a mile, and he got away with it only because the line drive was at Hunter Pence. So Loney, a line drive out, 1 down. Halladay is very fortunate he got away with that pitch, and he knows it. Now Rod Barajas popped up, flied to left. Rod with 10 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Barajas joins a long and distinguished list of players who have had problems with Roy Halladay. He is 0 for 2 and he is 1 for 14. And lifted to straightaway center. Victorino is there. And the runners hold. So the big pitch was that pitch made Deloney, who stung it and right at Hunter Pence. So with 2 out, Jamie Carroll coming up, and for Barajas, I'm sure Rod is thinking, I just got under that. Jamie hit into a force play in the 2nd inning, single to right in the 5th, and came around to score the Dodger run. By the way, when the Phillies come up in the 7th, they'll have Jimmy Rollins, Shane Victorino, Chase Utley, and if anybody gets on, Ryan Howard. Juan Rivera comes out on deck. He would bat for Kuroda if Carroll extends the inning. 1 ball and no strikes to Jamie. So Kuroda very much in the game, as he usually is. And a strike. 3 runs, 8 hits for the Phils. 1 run, 8 hits for the Dodgers. Carroll moving up on that bat handle. We were talking earlier about it's one thing to see a Hunter Pence at 6'4". It's a surprise. But Jamie right now against Halladay, moving up on the bat. 2-1 the count. The old story, move up, you lose some power perhaps, but you get better bat control. Fouled away. 2-2. And for Halladay at 89 and 89-90 most of the night. I think the hardest pitch, the fastest, was at 92. But the way he moves it around. And by the way, he's made 96 pitches and he's in the 6th inning. Two and 2. Got him. Outside corner. In shock is Jamie Carroll, like Shane Victorino earlier, and Halladay gets out of the jam. No runs, 2 hits. The key was that line drive that found the glove of Hunter Pence. And at the end of 6, Phillies 3, Dodgers 1. a difference of only 2 pitches, same number of strikeouts, identical walks, earned runs. Well, that's the difference, 2-1. They're even in hits, and we're heading for the 7th. And for Kuroda, ready to make his 100th pitch, and for Halladay, got out of a jam in the 6th inning. He has made 97 pitches. Jimmy Rollins, hitting .264, will start it off. And pops it in the air. Foul. Barajas and Loney. It will be Loney. Nice play by James. He was not about to get any help from the Phillies. I mean, Charlie Manuel is going to stand there and watch, but nobody's going to give you a lot of room or whatever. You're on your own. Nice play. So Rollins fouls out. And with 1 down, the batter will be Shane Victorino. Victorino doubled, scored a run, grounded out, and was shocked when he was called out on strikes in the 4th inning. He and Jamie Carroll belong to the same club as far as John Hirschbeck is concerned. Right. Victorino has walked 38 times and has struck out 41. So he's tough on balls and strikes. 0-1 the count. Off the plate. 1-1. Shane Victorino, drafted by the Dodgers and then helped to beat them in 2008, driving in 4 runs in one of the league championship games. Off speed. 2-1 the count. Victorino is like Jamie Carroll. He rarely, if ever, swings at the first pitch. And that's ball 3. Three and 1. He has always hit exceptionally well on a 3-ball count, better than .450. And promptly does it again. And for Victorino, he is on his way for 2 with a 1-out double to right. You know what he's hitting on a 3-ball count? Well, he was hitting .457. And now on a 3-1 count, he doubles to right. And he was on that pitch. So Victorino comes up with his 2nd double, and that's going to rearrange things for the Dodgers. Kuroda's done. Remember, they had Scott Elbert in the pen because there are left-hand hitters Utley and Howard, and it's a double switch because D. Gordon, who hurt his shoulder in Arizona, is going to come in with the pitcher. And Elbert is tuning up, and D. Gordon is playing catch. So we got a lot going on here, and we'll be back. He makes 105 pitches. As usual, the Dodgers just flat out fail to score for him. They get him 1 run. Meanwhile, he allows 2 earned, and he goes out trailing 3-1 after making 105 pitches. He has, without a doubt, the most deceptive 7-13 record in the National League. And remember, his earned run average coming in against Philadelphia was 0.8, less than 1 run, and he has already lost this year to them despite that. So they bring in Elbert to go after Utley and Howard. If you're keeping score, Elbert will go in the number 8 slot, occupied by Jamie Carroll. D. Gordon will bat 9th, playing short. So here is Utley, looking, and a strike. Against left-hand starters, the Phillies are 21-9. Though they're usually tough on left-handers no matter what. Utley 1 for 3. Scott Elbert, who's had arm surgery in his past. Utley grounded out, fly to right, single to right. And licks one to right center, playable. Victorino's going to tag, but he's not going anywhere. And Matt Kemp just lobs it back into Gordon. So Utley, a fly ball to center, 2 down. And now Ryan Howard. For Howard, he hit his first home run of the year against a left-hander back on the 3rd, and he hit it in Colorado. He went 155 at bats without a home run against a left-hander. And ball 1. Ryan is hitting only .251, but 24 home runs, 88 runs batted in. Dodgers put that 3-man diamond defense. Gordon, Miles, and Loney. 1-1. Victorino with a double. 2 out, 7th inning, 3-1 Phils. Ball 2. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 7th, they'll have D. Gordon, Tony Gwynn, Casey Blake. Two and 1 to Ryan Howard. Always looks like he's imitating Babe Ruth, but he's not. Holding that bat straight out as if he's pointing and calling a shot. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. A runner at second, and the Phillies lead by 2. There you go. Point that bat more straight up, like a television antenna. Ball 3. On deck, right-hand hitter Hunter Pence. So Victorino on a 3-1 pitch, double to right. We'll see about Howard now, 3-2. Time. Elbert has walked 7, and he has struck out 20. So just a hair away from 3-1. Three and 2. And that's going to be hit into right center, base hit, and it's going to go to the wall. So Howard is into second base, standing with a double. Victorino carries it in, and the Phillies lead 4-1. And for big Ryan Howard, He makes more music without the trombone. Howard now with a long and clutch second RBI. So the hit is charged to Albert, and wouldn't you know, the run is charged to Kuroda. So it is 4-1 Philadelphia. Hunter Pence will be walked intentionally, and they take their chances against the veteran left fielder Raul Ibanez. 4 runs, 10 hits for the Phils, 1 run, 8 hits for the Dodgers. For Mattingly, he went with Kuroda, came back in with the left-hander since Utley and Howard were coming up. Got by Utley, but not Howard. So in a moment, ball 4. All right, first and second, 2 out, 4-1 Phils. And Raul Ibanez is fouled out to Loney, hit into a double play, and grounded out. So the trombone player drove in a run, and now we'll see about the guitarist, Raul Ibanez. And ball 1. Remember the book we were talking about that helped Roy Halladay? The man who wrote that book, sports psychologist Harvey Dorfman, also helped Ibanez. 1-1. The mental game of baseball. Ibanez, 16 home runs, 61 runs batted in. 1-2. Ibanez strikes out more than 3 times than he would walk, but he does have 23 doubles, a triple, and the 16 home runs. You talk music to Ibanez, and he's met them all. Guns N' Roses and Creed, Pearl Jam, The Edge, Bono. 1-2. Down he goes. However, the trombonist worked. The double by Howard drives in the run, and at the end, a 6.5, 4-1 Phillies. in the 7th inning to open the gap to lead by 3. Dodgers trying to come back now against Roy Halladay, who has made 97 pitches. Dodgers have not been shut down against him, but they've been shut out pretty much. He has weathered the storm. Dodgers have had rallies in 4 of 6 innings, and that's ball 1 to D. Gordon. Gordon hurting his shoulder in a rundown play, tagging Kelly Johnson in Arizona. Strike, 1-1. They told us that they'd rest him, but now he's in there playing short. 1-2. It's his right shoulder that got caught up diving at Kelly Johnson. 1-2 the count. Ground ball and a tough play for Rollins. Got him on a bang bang play. Oh, was he down the line on that? I mean, now just a routine ground ball. And he almost beat Rollins. Here's Rollins, short hopping, kind of double clutch. That's what made it so close. Good movement on that pitch. He thought he might have beaten it. This close. He's in the air and the ball is in the glove. So with 1 out, Tony Gwynn, and it was a fine play by Jimmy Rollins. Tony Gwynn is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. That's a strike. We can duck in some scores. The Astros beat the Diamondbacks 9-1. However, the Pirates are helping. They're beating the Giants 5-0. The Pirates, remember, trying to break a 10-game losing streak. They had 5 runs in the 5th inning against Vogelsong. Remember, he came in 9-1 against the league. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Matt Guerrier begins to loosen up. Time. 4-1 Philadelphia, bottom of the 7th. On deck, Casey Blake. 104 pitches made by Halladay. Tomorrow night, the Dodgers see left-hander Cliff Lee. They have their hands full enough tonight with Halladay. 2-2. Chopper foul. For Roy Halladay, the baseball experience started in the backyard. He was hitting off the tee when he was about 3 years old. His dad was a commercial airline pilot. 2-2. Ground ball, base hit. So again, the Dodgers get a man aboard. In fact, the only time the Dodgers went down in order was in the 4th inning.
For the Dodgers, third baseman, number 23, Casey Blake.
In the Dodgers starting lineup, only Barajas is without a hit. So Halladay again out of the stretch. And Casey Blake coming up, single to right, walk, grounded to short. Ball 1. When Halladay was 5, they took a mattress and they pounded it along the basement wall, and he would hit it and throw baseballs into it hundreds of times a day, even at the tender age of 5. And then they got a bigger basement. Ball 2. They moved to another house when he was in the 5th grade. And the basement was 55 to 60 feet long. So Dad built a batting cage hanging chain links from the beams. He bought a pitching machine and a hanging tire set. And from the 5th grade on, Halladay worked at his game. all through high school. He'd follow a few rounds of batting practice with maybe a couple of hundred throws through the tire. So his father, seeing something in him, decided to take him to see a Blue Jay scout. And that's ball 4. And Bus Campbell, the scout, said bring him back when he's a couple of years older and I'll work with him. And did he ever work with him? So now the Dodgers again mounting more problems for Halladay. Is the doctor in? Yes. But let's see what Charlie Manuel does. 111 pitches made by Roy Halladay. And Charlie making his way out to the mound, and let's see. Charlie Manuel is an interesting guy. He played for the Dodgers in 1974 and 75. Halladay is going to leave. Charlie was born in a car. He really was. Halladay's walking out. We'll tell you more about Charlie, so we'll be back. Case in point, in the 6th inning, Matt Kemp singled, then Aaron Miles singled, and then the big play. That was the ball hit by Loney that was caught by Hunter Pence, and then Barajas, a fly ball to center field. He just missed it, and then the called third strike on a generous strike zone for umpire John Hirschbeck. Halladay out of another jam. But this time, with 2 on and 1 out, Charlie Manuel decided to lift him after 111 pitches and bring in Antonio Bastardo, a left-hander out of the Dominican. I threw the line away, but Charlie Manuel was born in a car on the way to his grandmother's house in Norfolk, West Virginia. He eventually played for the Dodgers in 1974 and 75. He's from a big family, 6 boys and 5 girls. And he's got a lot to worry about now as Andre Ethier faces Bastardo. 2 on, 1 out. Down and away. Bastardo 5-0, an earned run average of less than 1.5, with 50 strikeouts and 16 walks, so better than 3-1. Andre Ethier 2 for 3 against Doc Halladay. Same spot, 2-0. Bastardo signed as a free agent by the Phillies 6 years ago. Came up in 2009, then went back down, and then came up to stay last year. 25 years old. He'll be 26 the end of September. 2-0 to Ethier. Same spot. So now he's really asked for trouble trying to hit that outside corner. 3-0 to Andre Ethier with Matt Kemp on deck and 1 out. Left-handers were hitting 160 against Bastardo. No wonder they brought him in. 3-0 to Andre. And they'll let him swing. Fouled away. Might have cracked the bat. Yep, I think he did. So a couple of bad things on that. I mean, when you see a guy who has 10 home runs, given the green light 3-0, you would expect, if nothing else, he'd probably foul the ball by pulling it. And you certainly wouldn't expect him to crack his bat 3-0. But this game will constantly amaze you. 3-1 to Andre. Two on, Gwynn at second, Blake at first. 4-1 Philadelphia. Bottom of the 7th inning. For the Dodgers, they've had 5 rallies or threats in 7 innings. Ground ball to short. The shovel for 1. They turn it for 2. So from a 3-0 count to a double play, and the Dodgers are frustrated yet again. Halladay is off the hook. A prescription was written for the doc, and it's 4-1 Philadelphia. The painful fact that the Dodgers must address tonight. Yes, they did go up against one of the top pitchers in baseball. However, they are 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. They have worked and worked and brought forth a mouse. 1 run on 9 hits. The Phillies 4 runs, 10 hits. Trey Hillman, his bench coach, talking to Don Mattingly. And now Matt Guerrier will pick up for Scott Elbert. Guerrier will face Carlos Ruiz, then Michael Martinez, and we'll see, is Bastardo going to stay in the game? Apparently so. Ruiz single to right, fly to center, grounded to third. And ball 1. For Guerrier, he leads relievers in his 53rd game. Foul back. 1-1 to Carlos. the pride of Panama from Cherokee. Off the plate. Early we talked about how Carlos Ruiz worked in the bean fields. Then later on, he would walk a half a mile to a farm to carry crates of tomatoes on his head for 3/4 of a mile to the highway. Then he'd turn around, run back for the next crate. He would do that all day long, and he hits a fly ball to Kemp. He'd take what he earned, which was a grand total of $3. He'd go to the grocery store and buy flour, tortillas, yeast, eggs, milk, and then bring it home to the family. You want to talk about working hard? He could write the book. One away. Michael Martinez reached on an error. That was a double play ball. Dodgers let it get away and 2 runs scored. Then he singled and hit back to the box. On deck, Russ Glode. Little dribbler, charging play from Miles, got him. You know, you can follow the Dodgers with the MLB.com at Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. You get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and a lot more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Dodgers.com for details. Russ Glode, born in Brooklyn, New York, lives out on the island at East Hampton. Went to school at the University of South Florida. He's the #1 pinch hitter with 14 hits. He has 4 runs batted in. And ball 1. Russ, an even 6, 190. 35 years old. Signed originally by the Marlins and first came up to the Rockies. 1-1. From East Hampton, if you're back east, you say, oh, wow, celebrities, expensive homes. But it's only rich, as Russ says, half the year. And he strokes it, but right at Miles. So Glode lines out, and we're heading for the bottom of the 8th. 4-1 Phillies. 4-1 lead. Phillies got 1 in the first inning, 2 more in the second. The Dodgers came back with 1 in the fifth, and the Phillies added another in the seventh. And Michael Stutz, the third pitcher, Halladay for 6 1/3. Bastardo got 2 big outs. And now Michael. He's from Corvallis, Oregon, and started school at Santa Clara and transferred to Oregon State and played a huge role for the College World Series champions in 2006 and 2007. Basically a 4-seamer that can be clocked as high as 95. The sinker, the 2-seamer, slider, curve, and change. Left-handers give him some trouble, but he's got right-hander Matt Kemp to start it off. Ball 1. Matt Kemp grounded into a double play with 2 on, popped up with 2 on in the third inning, led off the sixth with a single. 4 runs, 10 hits for the Phils, 1 run, 9 hits for the Dodgers. Bottom of the 8th. That's foul. 1-1. Kemp, Miles, and Loney. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fastball hopped into center. So for Matt Kemp, and he'd be the first to agree, he's hitting out of sync. It would be a different game if he had gotten base hits with people on. Double play with 2 on in the first, popped up with 2 on, but now he leads off twice with a single to center. And the batter, Aaron Miles, 1 for 3. Dodgers now have the same number of hits as the Phillies, 10. Matt Kemp might very well try to shake up the pace a little. He has stolen 28 out of 33. Remember, he did have a stretch where he stole 20 in a row successfully. Miles couldn't hold up. 0-1. Paid attendance tonight, 35,380. 35,380. Both bullpens are busy here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Hung-Chi Kuo is up in the Dodger pen, and the closer, Brad Lidge, is loosening up in the Philadelphia pen. Ryan Madsen would be the official closer. Lidge had been sidelined. 0-1. There goes Kemp. Pitch low, and Ruiz has the ball fly out of his hand like a piece of wet soap. So backhanded, come up, and whoops. So for Matt Kemp, his 29th stolen base, which points up the Dodgers' inability to come up with a base hit with a runner in scoring position. Dodgers are 0 for 8. Miles with Loney to follow, and then Barajas. One and two. Aaron Miles hitting .295. He has a home run, 29 runs batted in. His numbers say he's a better hitter right-handed, but of course he sees more right-hand pitching. And line to left field. That's going to be a base hit. Kemp will score, and Ibanez gets the ball back into Jimmy Rollins. It is 4-2 Philadelphia, and the Dodgers now are 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. just took that breaking ball and went the other way. So Stutes gives up 2 singles, a stolen base, and a run. And the batter is Loney. Dodgers with 11 hits now, but only 2 runs. Dodgers have left men in every inning but the 4th. Aaron Miles doesn't do a lot of running, but he is 4 for 4 in stolen bases. But probably with Loney, they just didn't keep Howard on the bag. James single, grounded sharply to first, and then lined out, and there's a mix-up. And the ball gets away from Howard, and Miles goes to second. The throw coming from the pitcher Stutes is on hits Miles. So no chance for Howard to catch it. It'll be an error charge to the pitcher. So here are the Dodgers with another opportunity to pick up a run. Remember the pitch that Loney hit? It was a big out in the 6th inning. Remember when Halladay was pitching 2 on, nobody out, and you saw Ruiz go way inside, and the pitch was up and away, and Loney wrapped it, only it went right at Hunter Pence. That was a big pitch in this game. Off speed, missing, ball 1. The report on Stutes, late movement on his fastball. That's what Charlie Manuel likes. A very average, maybe even below average change. And he's in a hole now, 2-0. So Kemp single to center, Stoll second, Miles single to left to drive him in. Then takes second on the bad pickoff. And here's Loney trying to get the Dodgers to within 1. And he's in a hole, 3-0. Stutes has a record of 5-1. 20 walks, however, 40 strikeouts, and Rod Barajas on deck. So it's gum chewing time for Charlie. And a strike. 3-1. 4 runs, 10 hits for the Phils. 2 runs, 11 hits for the Dodgers. Nobody out. Miles at second. And a fastball that hit the center. Victorino there, tagging up his Miles, and he'll hustle to third. So now the Dodgers, a good fly ball from getting it to a 1-run game. And Charlie Manuel is not too happy with Stutes, so let's see. You have Barajas and Rivera out on deck. You have Trent Olgen holding a bat, and Charlie's going to the pen. So we'll find out who's coming out after this. Bastardo Stutz, and now Brad Lidge. If you were with us at the start of the game, we talked about the Halliday-Lidge connection. Brad Lidge went to Cherry Creek High School in Colorado. Roy Halladay went to Arvada High School. They met in the state finals, and Cherry Creek beat Arvada. And now, after all those years, here's Brad Lidge trying to save Roy Halladay a victory. Brad was a great closer and then plagued by injuries. He had a damaged left knee to start it off. He had a bad ankle, re-injured the same knee. Then he had inflammation in the right knee, and if that wasn't enough, eventually he had surgery to remove loose body from the right elbow. And then last year, inflammation in the elbow, rotator cuff strain this year. He was supposed to come back in May. He didn't return until the 22nd of July. And he'll face Barajas with a runner at third, ball one. So when it's all said and done, Brad Lidge with an ERA of 1.9, but he's only been in 6 games. He has walked 4, struck out 5, so he's fighting it. Of course, at his peak with the Astros, he saved as many as 42, and with the Phillies, 41. But he's been struggling with injuries ever since. Brad is 34. He'll be 35 2 days before Christmas. Born in Sacramento and went to Notre Dame. Barajas 0 for 3, popped up and 2 fly balls. And a strike. Well, the Pittsburgh Pirates have done it. Their losing streak is over. They lost 10 straight. They came to San Francisco and they shut out the Giants 5-0. Two and 1 to Barajas. Ball 3. This year, when the Dodgers get 11 hits in a game, they're winners. And they have 11 hits tonight, but they're still losing 4-2. With 11 hits this year, Mattingly's club is 23-5. So Blake and Carroll and the rest zeroing in on every pitch. 3-1 to Barajas. Dropped it in a little high for ball 4. So Scott Elbert's spot is coming up. Juan Rivera will bat for him. And we said Elbert because that spot's also occupied by Gurria. And here's Rivera.
Juan Rivera.
Dodgers will also use a runner for Barajas. Eugenio Velez will run for Barajas. So the Dodgers first and third, 1 out, tying runs aboard, and Rivera checking in. Brad Lidge and Rivera. Rivera is 1 for 2 in the past against him. Rivera batting .308. Velez at first, Miles at third. 1 out in the 8th, 4-2 Phils. 0-1. Rivera playing a lot lately for the Dodgers, both first base and left field. Miles at third, Velez at first. Early in August, Lidge had a save against Colorado. It was his 100th as a Philly. And a line drive down the left field line, base hit. Miles scores and Velez holds at second. Nice play by Raul Ibanez to get it back. So the Dodgers just keep inching closer and closer. And the batter will be D. Gordon. Breaking ball, and Rivera went down to get it and whacked it hard. Good play by Ibanez to keep Velez at second. He almost fell down, but he regained his balance. So Rivera off the bench, single, a run batted in, 2 runs in the inning. And here's Gordon with 1 out. D, routine ground ball to Rollins in the 7th inning, and boy did he make it close at first base. And Ruiz now out to talk to Brad Lidge. For Charlie Manuel, Lidge becomes a hold man. Ryan Madsen has saved 19. Phillies have led all the way, 1-0, 3-0, 3-1, 4-1, and now 4-3. 0-1. Well, with Gordon, you're always thinking the possibility of a bunt, and especially when he comes up to the plate with a bad shoulder. Martinez right at the bag at third. Ryan Howard directly behind the runner at first. That's a foul ball. 0-2. So in the inning, Kemp opened up with a single. Miles singled after Kemp had stolen second, and the run came in. Loney's fly ball sent Miles to third. Barajas walked, and Velez ran for him. And now Rivera the base hit to drive in the run. 4-3 Phils. Still only 1 out. 1-2. And a little ground ball and a collision, and they're going to call the runner out, of course. They'll also have to set the runner down. It looked like Rivera just ran right into Utley. Meanwhile, Rivera is hurting, and he's down on the ground. They're going to certainly send Velez back, and they have to call Rivera out, but he's hurting. So Chase Utley, every right to field the ground ball, and Rivera just ran into him. So that's basically interference as opposed to obstruction. Here it is again. Little ground ball, and no doubt on that one. So you give Chase Utley the put out. Charlie Manuel out to talk to the umpires. I want to make sure Utley's okay, and he is. So Gordon first on the fielder's choice. Rivera is out. Give the put out to Utley. It's a painful way to get a put out. And Rivera hurt his right knee. Rivera has had leg problems. And to say he has leg problems is an understatement. He broke a leg. It was his left leg in winter ball a couple of years ago, and he had to have surgery. So it hurts. Rivera will walk off. Back to second base goes Velez. That's the second out in the inning. So Tony Gwynn is coming up with 2 on and 2 out. 4-3 Phillies, bottom of the 8th inning. Tony Gwynn has grounded to short, struck out, sacrificed, single to right. Velez at second. Gordon at first. So you have rabbits out there. All three can run very, very well. 2 out. In the dirt. A wild pitch. Rounding third and holding on is Velez. Boy, are the Phillies doing a high wire act tonight. And for Charlie Manuel, tough to take. So Lidge throws one away, and there was no doubt about that being a wild pitch. That would be his first wild pitch. So now the Dodgers not only have the tying run 90 feet away, they have a possible winning run at second base. One ball and no strikes to Tony Gwynn. First base open. Brad Lidge on the ledge. Drop that in there. 1-1 to count. Brad, a #1 pick by the Astros out of Notre Dame way back in 1998. Fastball and slider, and that's pretty much it. And a bunt. Lidge scoops, shovels, and gets out of the mess. So Tony Gwynn trying to drag one, and he's out 1-3. So the Dodgers come up with 2, but they're a buck short. And at the end of 8, 4-3 Philadelphia. And has plagued them ever since he left. And tonight, no difference. In the first inning, with 1 out, he promptly doubled into right center field and scored on the single by Ryan Howard. And then in the 7th inning, he doubled to right on a 3-1 count, scored on the double by Ryan Howard. And Shane Victorino, remember, was hit by the pitch by Ramon Ramirez in San Francisco after Jimmy Rollins had stolen a base with a 6-run lead. And Victorino then went after the pitcher. There was a brouhaha, a lot of pushing and shoving, and when it was all settled, Victorino was fined a 3-game suspension. Well, had he accepted the suspension, he wouldn't be playing tonight. He wouldn't be bothering the Dodgers. Instead, he's playing and he's bothering him, and he'll appeal the suspension. So Mike McDougald is the 4th Dodger pitcher, and he'll be facing Rollins, Victorino, and Utley in the 9th inning. It's 4 runs, 10 hits for the Phillies, 3 runs, 12 hits for the Dodgers, each side having committed 1 error. Jimmy Rollins popped up and doubled, walked, and fouled out. 1 for 3. Ball 1. Leona Navarro is batting in Baraja's spot, and McDougal batting in the spot originally occupied by Jamie Carroll. 1-0. Ball 2. And a strike. Jimmy Rollins, the MVP of 2007. Matt Holliday was second. He became the first player in Major League Baseball history to pile up what he did that year. Fly ball, shallow left, late start, but Gwynn is there. 1 away. What he did, he had 200 hits, 15 triples, 25 home runs, and 25 stolen bases in one season. As a shortstop, he joined people like Marty Marion, Ernie Banks, Dick Groat, Maury Wills, Barry Larkin, and Jimmy. So 1 away in the 9th. And now Victorino, the flying Hawaiian. He has doubled twice. He has scored twice. Kane hitting .308. Fouled away. Victorino is 30 years old. He'll be 31 the end of November. The man from Maui and the whiz from Wailuku. Oh, and 1. Victorino won the 2009 Lou Gehrig Award, presented by the Phi Delta Theta fraternity for his work raising money for ALS. Gehrig was a member of the fraternity at Columbia. 1-1. Good pitch to late break. 1-2. January last year, he signed a 3-year deal with the Phillies and hits a drive to right. Back goes Ethier, and he's done it again. Shane Victorino, the flying Hawaiian, be called by other names as far as the Dodgers are concerned. 2 doubles and a home run. He just wears them out, and it's 5-3 Philadelphia. For Victorino, his 12th home run. So the man who might not have played in this game but chose to appeal his suspension has played a major part. He has scored 3 times, 2 doubles, and a huge home run. Interesting what has happened to Dodger pitchers tonight. We mentioned it way back about the Phillies hitting with 2 strikes. That home run by Victorino was on a 1-2 pitch. 7 of the Philadelphia's 11 hits have come with 2 strikes. Fouled away. For Mike McDougal, that's only the 2nd home run he's given up this year. Came in with an ERA of 2. And Victorino puts the Phillies out in front by 2. Raul Ibanez working on that big plug of tobacco. 0-2 to Utley. 1 for 4. Foul ball. Utley grounded out, flied out, stole second. He has a streak now, 19 straight successful steals. 12 this year, and a hangover of 7 from last year. 0-2 to Chase. Ryan Howard on deck. Time. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the ninth, Blake, Ethier, and Kemp. 1-2. Kuroda, Elbert, Guerrier, and McDougal. Ground foul. Chase, born in Pasadena, has always played well here at Dodger Stadium. And did that get him? He just did get out of the way. 2-2 the count to Chase. Chase Utley is second in Phillies history. He's played second base in 1,000 games. 3 more to tie Tony Taylor. Ground ball, Loney, fair ball. And that'll be that. 2 out. And Ryan Howard coming up.
Number 6, Ryan Howard.
Ryan Howard hit a high bouncer to the mound. Kuroda went up the air, got the fingertips of his glove on it. The ball died on the grass. Blake unable to make a play, and Victorino scored. Since then, Ryan flied to left, struck out with a runner at second, and doubled in Victorino in the 7th. 5-3 Philadelphia in the 9th. Ball 1. Dodgers with that triangle defense. Only this time Gordon is all alone and Blake is on the other side. There's D. That's right. Aaron Miles is certainly a short right fielder. Not talking about the fact he's 5'9". He's out there like in softball. 1-1 to Big Howard. Off the plate, ball 2. 2-1. Tomorrow night, Cliff Lee with a record of 11-7 against Ted Lilly, 7-11. Hope you'll be with us. If not, it'll be on KCAL 9. Two and 2. That got the plate umpire, John Hirschbeck. Hirschbeck has been umpiring over 28 years. Right at the heart. Yes, he has an inside chest protector. In the old days, they had what they call a mattress. It was a huge inflated cover that covered half the body. In fact, they used to say the National League umpires did not have the inflated mattress, so they were the ones who gave you the low pitch. The American League umpires had the big outside mattress, and in those days they said because of that you never got the low pitch. Well, now the umpires have been homogenized and they're all basically wearing the same gear. 2-2 to Ryan Howard. And down he goes. However, Shane Victorino, the flying Hawaiian. And it is 5-3 Philadelphia. Blake, Ethier, and Kemp coming up last of the ninth. 5-3 in favor of Philadelphia. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning, and as expected, the closer, Ryan Madson, comes in to try and finish it off. For the Dodgers, Casey Blake, Andre Ethier, and Matt Kemp. Ryan Madson casts as big a shadow as Roy Halladay. He's 6'6", 195, born here in Long Beach, lives in Moreno Valley until he bought a home in New Jersey, bought himself a boat, got 3 children now. Twin boys arrived Christmas Eve. So Madson working Blake, and ball 1. Casey Blake 2 for 8 against Madson in the past. Then Ethier just 2 for 13, and Kemp 4 for 10. 1-0. And ball 2. Basically, you get a 2-seamer, a 4-seamer. He has a slider and a change. Like everybody else now, he's got a cutter. That's a strike. 2-1. I remember 60 years ago, you really heard about sliders, and then everybody started to throw sliders. Now, the cutter is the pitch. Everybody learns to throw a cut fastball. Another strike. Casey Blake single to right, walked, rounded to short, walked again. So 1 for 2. If Madson's on his game, he gets a lot of ground balls because he pitches well down in the strike zone. At 6 feet on a 10-inch mound. He's coming right out of the sky. Two and 2. Missed inside. Madson will be 31 the end of this month. Last year, left-handers hit only .217 against him, and right-handers hit only .208. Ground ball, base hit. The Dodgers just keep getting men on base. So Casey Blake has walked twice, singled twice, and the batter is Andre Ethier. Only in the 4th inning did the Dodgers fail to come up with a base hit. They have 13 hits and 3 runs to show for it. And here's Ethier, single to center. Had an explosive single of Ryan Howard's glove in the 3rd inning. Struck out in the 5th and grounded into a double play after the count went 3-0. He swung 3-0, fouled it off, and hit into the double play 3-1. And ball 1. So the Philadelphia bullpen tonight has certainly been shaky, although Bastardo did come in, go 3-0, and then get Ethier to hit into the double play. Stutz was very shaky, Lidge the same, and now we'll see about Madson. Trying to come up with his 20th save. And a strike. 1-1. Phillies won 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers in Philadelphia. They'll be after each other tomorrow night and then Wednesday afternoon. And ball 2. Madson going into this year 43-28. So he's an experienced pitcher. Last year in April, he broke a toe while blowing a save in the 11th inning against the Giants, and was on the DL for over 2 months. Andre out in front of that. 2-2 the count. This year, Madsen went on the DL. He had an inflammation below the knuckles on his pitching hand, and his right hand was numb. He experienced soreness in the small muscles of his right hand with certain pitch grips. Finally, they had to give him a cortisone shot, and he was out from basically June 24th through July 15th. Ryan Madsen. 2-2 to Ethier. Nobody out. Blake at first. And popped in the air, foul. Martinez has a play. So Ethier fouls out to the Philadelphia third baseman. 1 out. And Matt Kemp coming up.
Dodger center fielder number 27, Matt Kemp.
Matt Kemp has done well tonight leading off innings. He singled in the 6th, led off with a single in the 8th. However, with men on, he grounded into a double play and popped up. So he is 2 for 4, but can't be too happy about it. Aaron Miles hitting back of him. Oh, and 1. Kemp, 26 home runs, 84 runs batted in. Took him a while, but he finally went over the 100 strikeout number. He has struck out 101. Oh, and 1 to Matt. 0-2. In looking at Madsen's important numbers, he has 42 strikeouts, 12 walks. 3.5 to 1. No balls, 2 strikes. And he takes care of Matt Kemp on 3 pitches, and the Dodgers are now down to their last out. That late break looked like the ball wasn't going to break at all, and it starts breaking just before the plate there, and then look at it drift. Wow, that's big league stuff. 2 down, and Madsen now facing Aaron Miles, and Matt sadder but wiser with Deona Navarro sitting alongside of him. Miles struck out, grounded out, single to right, single to left. Wow, that was a great pitch. So Madsen's ball just sailing all over the place. No balls and 1 strike. And another one. So the Dodgers are down to their last strike. Ryan Madsen trying to put him away. Despite the fact the Dodgers piled up 13 hits tonight. They had at least 1 hit in every inning but the 4th. 0-2. And a little tapper fielded by Ruiz. The out at first. And down go the Dodgers, leaving Blake, and that will do it. 5 runs, 11 hits, and 1 error for Philadelphia. The Dodgers battling throughout the game, getting men all over the place, but scoring only 3. 3 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error. Madsen made 17 pitches to get the job done for his 20th save. Stay tuned now for Dodgers Live coming up next. Good night, everybody.